Hello students, welcome back at another video of class 12th. Today I would like to welcome you at the page of Shekhawati International Academy, Sikar. Today we are going to start a new poem of class 12th from the book Flamingo. And the name of the title of this poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, written by Stephen Spender. So the meaning of this title is you might have heard that, or you have understood that an elementary school classroom in slum. So elementary is a primary, it's a fifth standard of school, and it's a government school, and which is in the slum. Slum, you know that the people who are below the poverty line, they live in a such type of huts or in a slum area, which is so stinky, which is so dirt, so polluted, so contaminated, no basic facility like water, electricity, and these people live in darkness, their future is no more. And here there is no any garbage system, no sanitation, no sewage, nothing is there. So in such a category, it is such class where people are compelled to live inside these conditions. And here, along with these conditions, there is a one school of primary school. And now our poet Stephen Spender had visited this. Actually, this incident has been taken from the Austria country, not Australia, it's Austria. And here he had visited one places. He has seen that people are so misfortune. It's unfortunately that students have no future. Students are living in a very poor conditions. The education which should be in a proper hygiene environment, but here unfortunately the conditions are totally against of it. The conditions are so poor, and let's have some discussion about it. The main theme of the poem is the gender inequality, the rights of education. Now here, the discrimination. Here, he has divided two category of students. One category who belongs to a rich standard, a rich people who are living in a rich world, and second category, the people who belong to a poor family, a poor class, poor standard. They are just a pressure on the world. It is written by him that the world has two way to see these two different students had a great discrimination, as the students have right to get the education, but here these students who are deprived, these students who are living under the bad circumstances, they have no rights of study. They are just a pressure on this world, on this earth. This is considered by the rich people, by the rich dictators who had made this world into two different category. Now here you have seen many countries that where all those countries which are developed, where each and every facilities are given to the government school. Like if I talk about America, if I talk about Australia, if I talk about England, there are many schools which has government school which has a facility of private school, like horse riding, swimming pool, cricket club, volleyball club, football, soccer, every games are there. Even the all classrooms are air conditions. Even the teachers are so sophisticated. Every each and everything infrastructure is so nice. The lush greenery, they are taken to the different prospect to see the world. So here the government school are doing so well, those in which are a developed country. But here, along with this, in the same world, there are many countries where the poor people have very what could I say, very least fortune, and they are deprived. They are just underprivileged by the basic alignments, by the basic facilities. So I have given you introduction. Let's go with the poem. Now, before going to the poem, I'll take you to the introduction of this Mr. Spender, who is a poet. In Spender, 1995, was an English poet and an essayist. He left University College, Oxford, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. So he couldn't complete his degree, and then he went to Berlin in 1930. Spender took a keen interest in politics. He was a person who has a great influence of politician or politics, and declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist. Socialist means who help or who talk about the social matters, and pacifist means a person who is considered that if a person considers differences in the society, that is known as pacifist. Books by Spender include Poem of Dedication. This is the main work which he had been highlighted by the all the conditions of the world. The Edge of Being, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern, and an autobiography, World Within World. In elementary school classroom in a slum, he has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequality. So here, class inequality, here you would get a chance to read about this thing, that how the class inequality means not proper rights. There is a discrimination between two things, two category: social injustice and class inequality. First class is, one class is the rich people, and second class is poor people. How they both have big discrimination, how they both have very ups and down in their both life standard. So here, have you ever visited or seen an elementary school in Islam? What does it look like? I don't think so. You have visited such type of schools, because you have ever never got the chance. But now, after reading this poem, you must go to it and just visit any slum, any slum school, any school which is in slum. You just go and visit it. How would you see? What are the prospect? Actually, I have seen number of schools in my life, not in slum area, but also in the village area, in the outer area. What the conditions are there? The schools are, the infrastructure are so weak, and the teachers are not constantly reach at the school. They live apart from school, and the students are very less in strength. They are not hygiene. They don't keep paying attention on the hygiene, how to be healthy, how to be fit. They live, they even they are not taught to live in sensible. They are not taught to live in etiquettes. They use their local language. Even the mother language is Hindi, but they prefer to choose their own language. And also, I have seen that the students are compelled to live together, whether it is first standard, second standard, third standard, and eighth standard. They all are living in one class, in one room. So it is so difficult to students to grab the knowledge, because if the eighth student math and the fourth standard math has a big or huge difference, so it would be very hard for the students to understand his own subject as compared to others. And only one teacher is holding the whole school. He is doing the job of principalship, teacher, and other activities. So the slum schools are, or these schools are, which are known as, which are on the name of just school, but what is going inside them, it's so pathetic, it's so thrillful for the people. It's a, what would I say? It's a ironically worst thing as a name of school. The school where the atmosphere should be there, the education should be flow as a water waves in the sea. The education is a kind of things which should be come, or which should be remain at the place where everything is nice and smooth. The conditions are in the favorable, but the conditions which are so harsh, where the schools cannot be run properly, and the students, the motto of making school, to make the future students bright. But here these schools are just a kind of a formality, which is not going to make the school or students name future good or bright. They are just putting them in the darkness or in the hell. So you are going to read these things in this poem. Far from gusty waves, these children faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor. The tall girl with her wig down head. Now here, far from gusty waves, these children faces. Now here, the poet Spender, he wants to convey us that when he had visited in a school which is inside the slum, the elementary school, he found that the faces of the students are so dull, are so colorless, are so immature, they are looking so harsh. And what the poet has compared their faces, their conditions, like a rootless weed. Weed, my dear students, weed is, you have seen, unplanted plant, unwanted plant, which is in the field. You have seen in your area the fields, while the crops are there are some unwanted plants also grow along with the crops. And there is no motto, there is no any use of these type of plants, it also harm the others. And here the poet compare these weeds, or you can say weeds means bushes, which is not usable for the crops or in the field, and they are just a kind of a pressure or a kind of a worst thing in the field. So here the poet compare that these students who are studying, whose face are so dull, whose face are so rude or so harsh, they are like rootless weed, which is not a part of this world. They are just nothing. They are, how they come, they don't know, and the world knows, but they are there, and I don't know what's their work. They are pretend to be, they are known to be like unwanted students, unwanted children on the earth. According to the poet, he is saying that these are the rootless weeds. The hair torn round their pallor. Pallor means the face. And their faces are so ill, and the hairs are so torn, like there is no any sense of hairstyle, there is no sense of to make a comb on their hair. So they are just a pressure, they are just a weightage of the of these type of things, these type of creatures in the world. They are nothing, just like a weeds. Now here the poet is saying that he had visited one school, and he found that there is in class where many students were there, all the students faces are so dull, so harsh, just because of they could not concentrate. They all are living, they all are suffering due to some problem. And they seems like there is no mean of their life. They are just like a rootless weeds, they are just like a unwanted plants, because showing their dresses, showing their faces, showing their stay of living in the class is just nothing. They are just looks like they are a kind of a dummies, are thrown in the class, and they are just sitting over there. These students are like this. Among them, the poet had observed a girl, the tall girl with a wig down head. Now here, wig down head means bent her head down. Why? There is a reason. What the poet is trying to say? The poet is trying to say that in the class there is a girl also sitting who is so tall, who is so big in the height, and she has bent herself down, she has bent her head down just because of two reasons. First is she is seeming, or she is considering that there is no future of her. She is humiliated in the class, she is embarrassed in the class, even there is a darkness of her future, she knew about it, and that's why she is so desperate, she is so feel insulted to stay in the class, and that's why she had weighed down her head. And there was another boy to whom the writer had said that the paper seemingly boy with rat's eyes. Now here, very important line, that there was a boy who is as thin like a paper, who is so weak from his figure, from his body structure. He is so weak, so weak, and as well as his eyes are looking like a rat eyes, like both are resembling with each other. Now here, the rat eyes means, you have seen that always go forward to look forward food. Here, that these people are suffering from malnutrition, and that's why they are so weak. Malnutrition means, my dear students, let me give you a proper meaning of this. Malnutrition means that if the nutritions are lack inside our food, when there is a less quantity of of nutrition in our food, that time a person becomes suffer from malnutrition. It's said in Hindi, it is said that kuposhan. And now here, what is nutrition? What we require: protein, we require carbohydrates, we require vitamins, we require minerals, zinc, iron, and no number of things we require in our diet. But here in their diet, these things are not in their food, and that's why their body needs nutrition. That's why they can run properly, they can have muscle, they can have fat. But now they are just a structure of skulls. They are the structures of skeleton. Now the skin is looking very very thin. Their skin is so thin, their body is so thin because of weakness due to the food. And now as the rat is known as to always looking for food, these students, these people, these children are also looking, this boy especially looking like for food, and he is suffering from hunger. He is hungry for a long period of time, and he has never satisfied his appetites. Now that's why he always look for food. And these people are so poor, and they cannot have a healthy diet in the daily routine. The stud, unlucky hire. Now here the another boy who is the writer is saying the stud, not fully grown. Stud means not fully grown. Unlucky hire of twisted bones, reciting a father's garlet disease, his lesson from his desk. Now at the back of dim class on unnoted, sweet and young. Now here there is a boy who is not fully grown, and he is suffering. What you observe that he has a twist bone, means his most part of his body are bones are twisted, like turned, not in a proper position. They are just having a not it. You could see that it is a disfigured, not a proper figure of the boy. And now how? Because he has got this unfortunate problem, unfortunate disease from his higher. Higher means from the ancestor, especially from his father. He got this wonderful disease. You could see how I am using this wonderful disease. The writer is saying, the poet is saying that he got this disease from his father as a reward, as a hire. You could see, I know that we get what things from our father. We get money, we get education, we get property, we get number of things, good facilities, good number of amount of great things. But here this unfortunate child has only got this disease from his father. Now higher means once, onces, or hira, what we call in Hindi hirasat, not in onces, like from one to another legacy which is passed through. So there is that unlucky hire of twisted bonds, reciting a father. Now here, this is a kind of a disease which I'm talking about. Canary disease is a kind of a disease which has a human body. The the bones which we have in a proper manner, or in a sophisticated manner, but this child bones are twisted, are not proper, not connected with each other. The joints are not in a good shape, they are just like that. So these are the turned shape of the bones. So it looks so awkward, it looks so painful to see a such type of boy in the class. And what he was doing, he was reciting his lesson sitting on his desk. He was just reading his lesson, as well as the child was looking so weak and suffering from this problem, who got this problem, who got this disease from his father. And at the back of the dim class, now here you could see dim class means the too much darkness, the brightness is not there in the class. So this class was so dim. One unnoted means not nobody is paying attention towards him. Sweet and young, he was very sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. Now here you know squirrels means gallery. In tree room other than this, here there was a boy whose mind, whose consciousness, whose dreams are to for his futures, to get he is always dreaming about the futures, to have a very sensible life, have a very good facilities. But now unfortunately he is inside the class, and what he was saying, he was looking for the squirrel's game. His his attention and his mind is not in the class, his mind is out of the class to for the games, on the sports, on different things, his mind is wandering. In the tree room means here the there, as the tree has number of branches, these class has number of students. Now here the first paragraph is completed. Now on the second paragraph, on sour cream walls, donations Shakespeare had, cloudless at dawn, civilized doom, raiding all cities. Ballad, flowery, tireless valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its world. Now you have seen that as I have already told you, the infrastructure of the school was so poor, and sour cream walls means the color was so dirty, the color of the walls are so distress, not fresh. It once the school has constructed, that time the walls were painted, but now after a long period of times, the walls or the school, and the meaning of the walls are means sour cream walls means these walls makes stink, means they spread a bad smell inside the class. And now sour means you have seen that the sour is a kind of a uh, is kadwa type we can say that. Cream walls means the color of it was, earlier it was a white, but now it becomes so dirty. Donations, people had given many donation, people have given the donation, and by this donation, by this piece of charity, what the school management had done, they had put they had painted these sour cream walls with the number of legendary number of paintings on the wall. What they had done, that the school management and the government, what they had done, the authority, by any donation, they had put that money, that donation on the wall by giving the pictures. And what the walls were showing to the children's, the wall was showing to the children's by different pictures, pictures of Shakespeare had. Now here, my dear students, the picture of cloudless at dawn, civilized doom raiding all cities, ballad florid, trolless valley. Now here, what is the symbol of Shakespeare here? Shakespeare is a symbol of literacy. Shakespeare is a symbol of great literature, great education. But are these students getting such type of education? They are showing a people who is known for having a great education. But instead of it, are they having a such type of facility? Are they having a such type of atmosphere where they can build up a great skill on the education, on the subjects? No. And along with the picture, the Shakespeare was showing that a cloudless at dawn. Cloudless at dawn, my dear student, the meaning of this. Dawn means early, a time, early morning, quite early morning. Cloudless means no cloud in the sky, and the sun is rising. You have seen in the early morning the sun always rise, but here these students' future are rising. No. Are they rising? Are they developing? No. They are just as constant as 5 year back, 2 year back, 3 year back. There is no improvement in them. Civilized doom riding all cities. Civilized means, dome means you have seen the buildings, infrastructures of the world. You know, that slum which we are talking about, it is covered, it is surrounded by many big buildings or many civilized dome. Civilized means a proper, authentic. Dome means the buildings of the ancient times, so beautiful, so well constructed, riding all cities. And there is a picture of the world where the number of buildings, neat, clean roads were there, neat and clean. People have a good sense of education, a good sense of etiquettes. They are carrying, they are in suit boot. Everything's were there in this picture. But have they ever seen a such type of person in the slum of their category who is wearing a pant shoot? No, they have seen a person who are dragged, discarded clothes of the rich people. They are having torn clothes, unfortunately, to wear. And along with the Shakespeare had Cloudlets Dawn and Civilized Doom riding all city, and ballad, so beautiful, flowery, a kind of orchard, a kind of area where the number of different colors of flowers were there. Troilus Valley, Troil, Tyrolus Valley is a kind of it is a place in the Austria, and where a beautiful valley. A valley means a mountain shape of area, a mountaining area where number of greenery, number of vegetations, flowers are there. Open-handed map awarding the world its world. Now here, my dear students, how big discrimination they are watching, how big misfortune they are watching through the every day in their class, whenever they remain in the class. Here you see that the education is not part of their life. They are not being given a proper system of education. Even cloudlets at dawn, their future is in darkness. They, as I have told you, that they always compelled to live inside that. They never get a chance to go outside from the slum and to live the area, the world which is not for them. Nobody is giving them help. Nobody is giving them chance to come outside from the slum to live in the other world. Nobody is paying attention. Nobody is helping. Nobody is aiding them. Now, and it is just kind of an illusion for them. It is just kind of it shows that you people are so embarrassed, you people are so unfortunate because you are living in this type of conditions. Being a human, it's not our responsibility, it's your responsibility. You took a birth in such type of conditions where you have to suffer a lot. How, what type of persons are there who is making this decision that if the person is have a birth in the poor conditions, he has no rights, she has no rights to live in this world, to live in the civilized dome, to live in the flowery, to see the rivers, to see the valleys. Why? Because I'm poor, that's why I have to sustain my whole life from the birth to the death, and my children as well as also. So this is the thing, this is the big discrimination. Open-handed map awarding the world its world. Now here, this map is not for them. The children are saying this map is only for those who are having all the facilities, all the elements, all the basic things in their life, in their school, in their education, in their circle. These people are deprived from these facilities. These people are underprivileged, and they have no fortune, they have no luck, fate of their life. And this thing is, they are saying that it's just a bullshit, it's just a nonsense for them, because nobody is taking them, nobody is going to take their finger out from this world, from this slum area. Everybody is just cursing us, everybody is just insulting us, humiliating us, and look at us with a dirt, with a pity eyes. Sometimes people have a hateful eyes towards us. So such type of things the writer is saying for them. And yet for these children, this window, not this map, this world where all the futures painted with food. Now here, for these children, this map, this painting, are not their windows. Like from these windows in the classroom, there are many windows. There are 4, 3, 4, 5 windows are there. 4, 6 windows are there.